ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Aquatic Ballpark. We are in round 17 of the New South Wales Women's League second grade competition. And your Manly Eagles taking on the Kellyville Fillies. Unfortunately, Manly probably out of finals contention now due to their loss last Friday night here and then again on Wednesday. But plenty of positives to take out of this season for the Manly Eagles girls. On the mound for the Eagles is Indiana Brown. And we're underway here. That's a swinging strike. And Stella Knoll leading things off here for the Kellyville girls side. Fouls that one off strike two. And strike three there. Lead-off batter Stella Knoll down on strikes. Indiana Brown starting nicely here tonight. Kellyville in 6th position, needing a win tonight to keep their semi-finals hopes alive. 6 wins, 6 losses and 2 draws through their 14 games to date. Manly with 4 wins, a draw and 8 losses. A couple of them by 1 run here at Aquatic. And the first pitch to the second hitter for the Kellyville side, Catherine Wong, is down for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. And too high for ball 2, so 2-0. Inside and in the dirt for ball 3. Lily Atkinson doing the catching tonight. Lenny Ward playing second base. And that pitch to take the outside corner for strike 1. Behind the plate calling balls and strikes tonight is Steve Green. Pitch will be up for ball 4, so Catherine Wong will draw the walk. Catherine Wong dealing second base, just overrunning the base a little bit, but was able to get back just in time. Also, only having the one umpire makes it a little bit tough, so go with the decision that Steve Green came up with, and that was safe. Might have been a question asked that did she run over the base, but pitch hit down to first base, but fouling out of play. So 2 strikes now for the 3 hitter. Pops that one on to Surrender to Gale at first. Picks it up, runs over to the base, makes the out, second out of the inning. They get full of the second out there over at first base. It's now Yvette Sal on in the batter's box. Takes the first pitch for strike one. That pitch in for ball one, so 1-1. Pitch fouled off for strike two, so ball 2 strikes for Yvette Sal. And that pitch fouled off out of play. Can remain a ball and 2 strikes. Pitch lifted high into the sky. Olivia Clark is underneath it and makes a catch, and that'll finish the top of the first. So good 3 outs there by the Eagles, and that'll finish the top of the first. Manly and Kellyville locked 0-0. We'll bring you the lineups now for both teams, starting with the visitors. Sponsored by Seventh Day Brewery. Stella Knoll was the lead-off. She's at shortstop. Catherine Wong's in left field. Erin Fuller is at second base. Yvette Sal is in centre field. Sarah Maricic will lead off the bottom of the second. She's at first base. Danielle Knoll is at third base. Fiona Hinton-Rogers in right field. Sophia Luca doing the catching. Jess Berriotto is the pitcher. And Ella Lees is the 10th hitter in the Kellyville lineup. And your Manly Eagles, proudly sponsored by the Aurelius Group. Indiana Brown is the starting pitcher and lead-off hitter. Olivia Baker at shortstop. Surrender to Gale at first base. Millie Atkinson's doing the catching. Lenny Ward at second base. Hannah Vaughan's at third base. Kiara DeGale in left field. Hayley Glenhill in centre field. And Eva Endicaputri in right field. So Indiana Brown will lead off here for the Eagles. Get the job done in the top of the first. Job to do here, and looking for early runs in this encounter. Just here, Berriotto starts with a ball down and away, so Phil Luca unable to handle. Therefore, strike one ball and one strike. This game, the only Women's League game on tonight. Sounds like all other 4 games have been washed out. A great job by Noel Markham up here earlier today. Getting this ground looking ship-shape. Beautiful condition. Indiana Brown fouling that one off. Ball and 2 strikes now. Pitch away for ball 2, so 2 balls and 2 strikes. Over the top of the head. Now 2 and 2. Pitch down in the dirt, so ball 4 by the looks of things. Might have hit her on the foot. Either way, she's aboard. And the Eagles have their lead-off hitter on first base, getting this game underway. Baker batting for the Eagles now. How's that pitch off? Balls and 1 strike. Here, Baker hitting 500 on the season, 9 hits from 12 at-bats. Has walked 6 times and only struck out once. And therefore, strike 1. Pitch up to the throw up to second base with Indiana still in the base. He's off target, so that's a stolen base. And it would strike 2 to Olivia Baker. Runner in scoring position now for the Eagles. How's that one off? I'll get out of play. Off the Manly dugout. Jess Berriotto, 8 appearances, all of them starts. She's thrown 2 complete games, 20 innings pitched. She's given up 42 runs, of which 33 have been earned on 27 hits. Walked 29, struck out 31. Kick-off attempt over to second base, keeping Indiana Brown close. Berriotto and Stella Knoll sharing the pitching duties. Fires that one to the outside corner for ball one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's given up 6 doubles and 1 triple. Opponent's batting average of 354. Certainly like to have a 354 average. Will be in there for ball 2. Evening the count at 2 with the runner on 2. For ball 3, so good patience shown by Olivia Baker. Looking to get herself aboard by the way of a hit or a walk. Indiana Brown is poised to score Manly's first run if they can get it deep enough into the outfield. And that will be ball 4, so working all the way back from 0-2 is able to draw the walk. And now Manly got the runners on first and second with nobody out. That does bring up Serena de Gale, but before Serena gets the bat, we'll have a visit from the Kellyville manager. Landing on the mound is over. Manly with runners on first and second. Nobody out. Quick check over to second base again, just keeping Indiana Brown nice and close. Straight to the Gale, looking to post some early runs here for the Eagles. Up and in for ball 1. Kellyville coming off a 4-all draw against Penrith last week. They were beaten 10-0 by the West Sydney Boomers. The competition's undefeated leaders. That's in there for strike 1, a ball and a strike now. And then 13-9 loss against the Penrith Jaguars. So 2 losses on a draw so far in 2021. And a washout along the way. There for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Now to Serena to Gale. ripped down the third baseline, but foul. Good piece there by Serena Gale. 2-2 now the count. Lifts this one high and into foul territory. Enda Kaputri out there collecting the previous foul ball. Looked like she was trying to catch that one, not realising that the Kellyville left fielder was coming across. So luckily it was far enough out of play where she couldn't cause interference. Counter will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two to Gale, rips high and foul and out of play again. Well, maybe not foul, just falling foul. Gale started to trot down the first baseline as if it was going to drop in, but does get foul and out of play.
A quarter of a second later on the swing.
Yeah, she even jumped out of the box a little bit to try and hit the inside pitch, but still too early on it. Counter remain 2 balls and 2 strikes, making Jess Berriotto work really hard to get this out. Swings and misses with that pitch down the middle. And Jess Berriotto with her arms in the air in sheer ecstasy there gets the big out of Serena Gale. Good pitch on the outside corner. Last 3 pitches were inside. Works the outside corner and gets the swing and miss from Serena Gale. And that's the first out here in the bottom of the first inning. Very good evening to those of you watching at home. Feel free to leave us a message, say good day, and if you've got any questions, fire them through. We'll try and get them answered for you. Calling from the comfort of the balcony here at Aquatic Ballpark tonight. That pitch right in the back of Millie Atkinson, so she will load the bases with that hit by pitch. Steve Green just checking the welfare of Millie Atkinson up at first. Shaking that one off. Pound of the baton to the second base. Lenny Ward now. Back playing in the infield. Millie Atkinson back at catcher. And Jesse Berriotto starts with a strike. 1 balls and 1 strike to Lenny Ward. A pitch hit to the left side of the infield. Lenny Ward is going to be too quick. Millie Atkinson moves up to second. The throw to second gets away, but Liv Clark didn't pick it up in time to score, and it will be a fielder's choice for Lenny Ward. Everyone moves up 90 feet. The Eagles are on the board. And we'll bring up Hannah Vaughan. pitch in there for strike one. Balls and one strike to Hannah Vaughan. Just backing away from that one a bit was Vaughan. Big hello to Kim Robertson. It looks like three washouts and a forfeit around the Sydney Metro tonight. So this game the only one in action. Berriotto feels the ball, throws it over to first. The play was probably at home. She throws it away from the first base. It's going to score Millie Atkinson. Lenny Ward moves up to third base. Jeff Berriotto just panicking a little bit, trying to throw it too hard over to first. A bench were calling out, throw it home. And isn't able to complete the throw over to first base, and allows Manly to score another 2 runs and stretch the lead out to 3-0 here. Still only 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. We'll bring up Kiara DeGale, starting in left field tonight. The pitch is dropping in there for strike one. Nice curveball there by Jess Berriotto. Gets the inning started. More than happy to bring you Lions baseball here on Friday night, women's second grade. The weather has held off. It's a nice, calm evening. We're going to have a hell of a ball game on hand tonight. Fouls that one off, does Kiara DeGale. This game going right to the death early in the season out at Kellyville. Kellyville rallying in the last 2 innings to overcome a 10-2 deficit. Win the game 12-10. And Vaughan to second base, uncontested. Now Manly with another chance to drive in another 2 runs here in this first inning. That pitch is too high. 2 balls and 2 strikes now for Kiara DeGale. Pitch is up for ball 3, so feels the count. Base open for Berriotto if she wishes. Hayley Gledhill on deck for the Eagles. Looking to get her chance. Walk wouldn't hurt Kellyville here. And it will be ball 4, so loads the bases again. I'll bring up the Manly centre fielder, Hayley Gledhill. She'll bat with the bases loaded. In there for strike 1. So the women's second grade standings as they sit at the moment, Western Sydney Boomers with tonight's... That wasn't their forfeit. So with tonight's washout, they have 12 wins and 0 losses, sitting very comfortably at the top. It's fouled off and out of play. Blacktown Workers, 3.5 games behind them, 9 wins and 4 losses. Finola sitting in third place, with 7 wins and 4 losses, and Blacktown Black, 8 wins, 1 draw and 5 losses to their name. That rounds out the top 4. Pitch in there for ball one. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Hayley Gledhill. And then hot on the heels of Penrith Leopards with 7 wins, 2 draws and 6 losses. These Kellyville Fillies 6-2-6. Probably the only other 2 teams that can take that 4th spot. Can't be behind them with a 4-7 record. Manly 4 wins, a draw and 8 losses. Penrith Jaguars with 2 wins, 2 draws and 7 losses. And then Greenway at the bottom in 10th position, 1 win and 13 losses. A pitch on the ground to first base, picks it up. Underhand toss to Jess Berriotto, who stands on first base. Hayley Gledhill's retired, but Lenny Ward comes across the plate to score. And we lead 4-0 here with 2 out. In the bottom of the first inning. It's going to be a hitter that Manly have dearly missed over the last couple of weeks. They've had a couple of games where they've gone down by 1 run. I was chatting to Michael O'Neill before the game tonight, and he really wishes he had this bat in his lineup in those games. And it is Eva Indicaputri. She steps into the batter's box with 2 out here. 2 more runners in scoring position. Manly looking for more here. Establish an early lead in this game. Anna Vaughan stands at 3rd. Kiara Gale stands at 2nd. Indicaputri down, no balls on 1 strike. That's in there. Fouled off over the first base side. And dropped in fair territory. And Indicaputri will be aboard with a single. And it will drive in 2 runs. Indicaputri will now go up to second base. Manly just taking bases at will here at the moment. So it will be an error charge to the first base. Going on contact was Hannah Vaughan. With 2 out, she scores. And after the drop, Kiara Gale comes across. So Manly getting those extra 2 runs in. They lead 6-0 here. And Eva Indicaputri stands aboard second base. Back to the top of the lineup now. And it's Indiana Brown. Going to drive in the 7th run of this inning. Jess Berriotto starts with the ball up and out of the zone. Of course, the 7th run will see the end of this inning under the 7-run rule. And it will be a perfect start to the Manly Eagles. Pitch in there for ball 2 inside. 2-0. A couple of walks. Some good hitting here also by the Eagles. A pitch up. Out of the glove of Sophia Luca, allowing Eva Indicaputri to move up to 3rd. And they're now 90 feet away with their 7th run of this first inning. Up and in for 4. Manly with the runners on the corners and Olivia Clark stepping up. And Brown takes off to second base. She'll steal it without a throw. Obsolete, really, because her run won't count if it does come across the plate. Enda Kaputri represents the 7th and final run of this inning. Should she be able to cross? And she will cross here on the second ball into Olivia Clark. That is the 7th run of the inning. So very good start to this game for the Eagles. They've scored 7. On the Procar Automotive scoreboard, it's the Manly Eagles 7, the Kellyville Fillies 0. Sarah Maricic leading off for the Kellyville side. That's 2 balls and no strikes to start this one. Sorry, 1 ball and 1 strike. Swings and misses at that one. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two and 2 now for Maricic. Punch on the ground, left side. Long run for Olivia Clark to come in and get it. Throws it over to Serena DeGale, who makes a lovely scoop. And that is the first out here. Olivia Clark had a lot of work to do. That pitch is fouled off. It's Danielle Knoll batting now. In the dirt ball blocked by Millie Atkinson. 1 ball and 1 strike. One in there for ball 2, so 2 balls and 1. Down in the bottom of the zone for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. And we're looking for the second out of this top of the second inning. Down and in for ball 3, so that'll fill up the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. Three and 2. Danielle Knoll. And it will be ball 4. So it'll be a 1-out walk for the Fillies. And a walk in the first inning. You got a walk here in the second. We'll bring up Fiona Hinton-Rogers, starting in right field tonight. Over at first, and Danielle Knoll was only a step off the base, so she's back in there easily. You're up 7-0. There's no real need to worry about that run-up. All your focus is into the batter in the batter's box. Go get yourself a second out. Maybe even get yourself a double play. Get the bats back in action. And 1 ball to Fiona Hinton-Rogers. I'll check over at first. Back in easily. Danielle Knoll, 5 stolen bases from 5 attempts. That pitch hit to Hannah Vaughan at third. A little bit of a fumble over there, picks it up. Can't get the throw to first base in time. That'll be probably an error charge to Hannah Vaughan there. I'll put runners on first and second for the catcher, Sophia Luca. Batting 250 in her in her 12 games. 6 hits from 24 at-bats with 3 runs scored and 10 RBIs. So knows how to drive in runs. That pitch popped up. And it is Lenny Ward who catches the ball at second base. And the runner over there was Danielle Knoll. She wasn't tagging up. Lenny Ward steps on second and gets the double play. And that ends things here in the top of the second. We'll have Serena Gale to lead things off when we return. So it's a pitching change for the Kellyville side. On the mound now is Stella Knoll. Jess Berriotto's night is done. Stella Knoll with a 3-0 record. 9 appearances, 3 of them start, so it's her 7th relief appearance of the season. That pitch is too high for ball 1. And it's Olivia Clark to lead things off. She was the hitter when Eva Inakaputri scored the 7th run of the previous inning, so she will receive a fresh count and lead things off here in the bottom of the second inning. 2 balls and no strikes. And then for ball 3, so 3-0 for Olivia Baker. Manly looking for more runs here and put this game to bed very early. She's able to draw the 4-pitch walk. I'll bring up the Manly first base, Serena De Gale. Getting some encouragement from her old man on the hill after striking out in her last at bat. Takes the first pitch she sees from Stella Knoll for ball 1. And ball 2 now. So 2-0, nobody out for Serena De Gale. Now 3-0. And the new pitcher for the Phillies just struggling to find the strike. Sorry, 7 straight balls so far for Olivia Clark, and check over at first, gets away from the first base Sarah Maricic. Long run to her for the fence, but Olivia Clark doesn't advance, so dodges the bullet there, does Stella Knoll. Double play will remain. And that's Rick down the third base line. Serena De Gale found her target this time. Olivia Clark turns around second. It's a long throw to third base, but there's no fielder there. She'll stand in there. Without a throw, the ball gets thrown into the middle of the infield. Serena De Gale's on with a double. And Manly 2 on here with nobody out in the bottom of the second. And I'll bring up Millie Atkinson for the Eagles. Atkinson back behind the dish tonight. A couple of appearances on the mound for her in the last couple of weeks. Back to familiar territory for her. 8 for 20 so far on the season with a nice even 400 average. 9 games, all starts. 11 runs scored, 7 RBIs knocked in. Has 5 walks, 2 hit by pitches and 3 strikeouts to her name. Takes that first pitch for ball 1. And that one in there. Inside, too far inside. For ball 2, Millie was hit by pitch in the first inning. Almost hit by pitch on that one. Fouls that pitch out of play. 2 balls and a strike now. Umpire Steve Green gives Sophia Lucha a new ball. So 2-1 for Millie Atkinson. Missed that one high. Big hit over left field. Long run for the left fielder. It's going to score two with Serena Gale ripping around third base rather. She comes in to score. Millie Atkinson is in there with a single. And it's another couple of runs on the scoreboard for the Eagles. They're now out to a 9-0 lead here. And still nobody out in the bottom of the second inning. And then I'll bring up Lenny Ward, who made that great double play to finish the top of the second. Caught the ball and stood on second base after Daniel Knoll didn't tag up. First pitch is to Lenny Ward, a strike. So no balls and one strike. It's softly on the ground to the shortstop, who picks it up, stands on second base. Won't have a throw to first. Millie Atkinson's retired on the fielder's choice. Manly manager Michael O'Neill just having a discussion with home-plate umpire Steve Green about something in the infield. Couldn't quite hear what was said. Millie Atkinson is the first out. And we'll bring up the third base, Hannah Vaughan. Takes the first pitch in there for strike one. Reached on an error in the previous inning. Tip into the glove of Sophia Lucha. So strike two now for Hannah Vaughan. Nice swing by the Manly hitter. Just a little bit behind it. She will foul that off. And in an 0-2 hole now. Pitch a little bit high. For one ball and two strikes. Former softballer putting together a pretty good resume for her first season in baseball. 5 hits from her 20 at-bats. 7 runs scored, 8 RBIs, 6 walks, 6 strikeouts. That pitch just misses upstairs. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gets the bat on that one, rips it foul. Straight past Michael O'Neill standing in the coach's third coach's box. Can remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another pitch from Stella Knoll. Looking to get this second out here for her Kellyville Fillies side. Lenny Ward, good lead at second. I'm surprised she hasn't taken off. Sorry, good lead at first. I'm surprised she hasn't taken off the second to find out. That pitch is down and in for ball 3 to Hannah Vaughan. So works the count full all the way back from 0-2, now 3-2. Looking to pass the baton over to Kiara Gale, who stands on deck. Next hitter up for the Eagles. Another good rip on the ball by Hannah Vaughan. Takes the high pitch, but can only get it foul. We'll give it another chance to drive something hard into left field. And a busy day so far for Catherine Wong out there. A couple of hits coming out her way. Swings and misses of that one. Does Hannah Vaughan. Can't catch up to it. And it's a very well-deserved strikeout there to Stella Knoll. Gives Kellyville 2 outs now. Here in the bottom of the second, Manly with 2 runs on the board, extended their lead out to 9-0. Manly Ward still standing at first. Maybe Mike O'Neill. No, as I say that, she creeps a little bit further, but still not taking second base. So maybe Mike O'Neill taking the steal off, given that Manly are up 9-0. First pitch to Kiara DeGale is in there for strike 1. Gale 8 for 21 on the season. Pops that one up. Luca looks up for it but can't find it. Little for a foul. No balls and 2 strikes for the Manly shortstop. Sorry, Manly left fielder tonight. May see her on the mound at some point. Michael O'Neill having both of the Gale sisters and Olivia Clark available to pitch tonight. Millie Atkinson having the week off. Unless, of course, he really needs it, but giving her the night behind the dish tonight. That pitch is inside for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Big day of baseball up here at Aquatic. Tomorrow we have all 3 Manly minor league first grade games. And a big swing and miss on the high pitch out of the zone. Kiara DeGale's eyes lighting up. She can't hold back. So after the 2 innings on the Pro Car Automotive scoreboard, it's your Manly Eagles 9, Kellyville Fillies 0. So Jess Berriotto leading off here for the Phillies. She was on deck when that double play happened to end the second. She gets a chance to lead off here. One inning of work on the mound for her, and her night over on the defensive side of things. That pitch hit to the second base. Lenny Ward picks it up. Great strong throw across the diamond over to Serena the Gale. A nice first out here in the top of the third inning. And they're looking to post another 0 on the scoreboard. They got off to the best possible start. I'll bring up the catcher, Sophia Luca. Going in the 9-hole tonight. That pitch just missing outside. Steve Green had a bit of a look over at it, but it was too far away. No balls and one strike to Sophia Luca. 250 average through her 12 games so far this year. And Indiana Brown goes back to the same spot. This time gets the swing out of Luca. And Luca's behind now. No balls and 2 strikes. Comes back inside but just misses. 2-1 now to the Kellyville catcher. A soft roller over to Hannah Vaughan at first. It'll be a tough play. She won't have one. So it'll be an infield hit for Sophia Luca. And Kellyville will have their first hitter. Reach here in the top of the third. Serena the Gale won't hold on over there. And it's now Ella Lease. Oh, correction. It was Ella Lease with the single. Got the order round the wrong way. So Ella Lease with the single. And now it's back to the top of the order for Stella Knoll. That's 2 balls and no strikes to her. So well done to Ella Lease for that little single of third base there to get things started here in the top of the third for the Kellyville Fillies. That's a 4-pitch walk for Stella Knoll. A couple of one-out base runners for the Fillies. And of course do have the advantage of the 9-0 lead. So no reason to panic just yet, and as you saw in the previous inning, double play also not impossible. That pitch getting in and behind and all the way to the back fence, allowing Lees and Knoll to move up 90 feet each. So now runners on second and third for Kellyville as they look to get on the scoreboard. Ella Lee's second hit of the season through 12 at-bats. Has scored 6 times, courtesy of reaching on 6 walks. Played 8 games, all of them starts. As Indiana Brown falls behind 2 balls and no strikes. So Brown looking like she's a little bit tired here. O'Neill with a couple of options. That pitch hit to the shortstop, Olivia Clark. Picks it up, fires across the diamond, just in time. And then the throw home, also out. Double play by the Eagles. Great defense, a great play by Lydia Clark. It's the first out at first. It's ready to go, reacting to the runner coming home. And Millie Atkinson applying the tag right at the last second. Gets the third out. And just like I said, double plays aren't impossible. It's our second one of the game. And that will end the top of the third in emphatic style. Kellyville do get their first run of the game, though. So they do get on the scoreboard. It'll be your Manly Eagles 9, Kellyville Fillies 1.
Sit, okay? Yeah.
So back here in the bottom of the third, and it's Hayley Glenhill to lead things off for the Eagles. Manly shutting down. At top of the third, in emphatic style, nice double play. Hannah Vaughan to Serena the Gale, who then threw it down to Millie Atkinson at home plate. Unfortunately, our replay not quite working tonight to get that, but we'll put it together for sure in the highlights package during the week. It'll certainly be one piece of action to watch. It'll be on display at our presentation coming up, 10th of April. It's presentation in the park. Held on the very hallowed grounds of Aquatic Ballpark on the 10th of April from 5 p.m. More details out very, very soon. Two and one to Hayley Glenhill. Bends out of the way of that one, but it's in there for strike two. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swings and misses that one. Hayley Glenhill's down on strikes. First out here in the bottom of the third. It brings up for the Eagles, Eva Endicaputri. Reached on the drop fly ball by Sarah Baricic. Pitch is in there for strike one, so Stella Knoll doing a great job here in relief, restricted mainly to only 2 runs in the previous inning. It already has the first out here in the bottom of the third. In there for strike 2. And no balls and 2 strikes. And the Caputri's a fighter though. She goes all the way down to the last pitch. That one's in there for ball 1. Came back from 0-2 in her last at bat. So driving in 2 runs on the error. Swings and misses at that pitch from Stella Knoll. So back-to-back strikeouts for the Kellyville relief pitcher. Starting to settle things down here. Get her and keep her team in this contest. Does bring up Indiana Brown. 2 out now. Top of the third inning. Bottom of the third inning, I should say. Why do I always get that wrong? That's down for ball 1. We will be back on air tomorrow from 1:30. We have 3 Manly Minor League first grade games. Starting things off will be the Manly Futures against the Pittwater Marlins. Pittwater Marlins needing to win both of their games this tomorrow and next Saturday. They're a chance of making Manly Minor League first grade playoffs. At 4 o'clock will be the Big Dogs and the Forest Mets. So it'll be EBSN against EBSN, with yours truly taking off the great producer Andrew Logue for the Mets. Those 2 teams also needing wins to consolidate their places in the finals. A pitch to Indiana Brown is down and away for ball 2. Still a Knoll just ushering some wildlife off the diamond. Might have been a butterfly or cockroach. That pitch up for ball 3, so 3-0 for Indiana Brown. Doing the job at number 1 hitter does. And then in the big game, 6:30 game tomorrow night, will be the undefeated Forest Renegades looking for back-to-back Summer League championships. They will take on the Warringah Redbacks as Indiana draws the walk for the Eagles. It's a 2-out walk, so a couple of strikeouts for Stella Knoll and unable to get the 3rd out. And it will bring out the Kellyville manager just to have a quick chat, just get her curler back into the right frame of mind. And throws the ball away in a bit of anger, so we'll have a pitching change. We'll keep looking towards tomorrow. So the Forest Renegades and the Warringah Redbacks will close things out tomorrow night at 6:30. And we're just looking at who the new pitcher is here. Erin Fuller comes to the mound. She's going to come to the mound with 2 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And then we're back on air next Wednesday night for the final home game for the Manly Eagles first grade. And we're tackling the local rivals, the Ride Hawks. It's Manly Eagles Legends Day. So we'll have a cast of former players, coaches and administrators in attendance, providing the weather hangs off. Sydney has been very wet the last few weeks and has caused havoc on the back end of the State League season. Only travelling to Canterbury tomorrow to take on the Vikings, and hopefully returning to Aquatic next Wednesday with their first win of 2021 under their belt. And a very nail-biting draw last Wednesday night against MacArthur. Just couldn't quite get the runs in the top of the last, despite having loaded bases. And then next Saturday, the final homestand of the season. Under 18s and third grade playing for pride, no longer in contention for the finals. And Manly second grade hopefully clinching top spot tomorrow. It'll depend on Borkham Hills going down to Cronulla. But a win tomorrow and next Saturday for the second grade side will clinch the minor premiership, the number one seed, the home semi-final, as the State League finals kick off the following week. Erin Fuller's done with her warm-up. She's ready to go. She's going to face Olivia Clark. Lobs in the first one. 4-strike-1, catches the bottom of the zone. Looks like Indiana Brown definitely has the red light. She's not going anywhere. Ripped high and deep into left field, but foul. Just out of reach of Fiona Hinton-Rogers. Great rip on that by Olivia Clark. She's now in an 0-2 hole. And Fuller, perfect start for her. 2 quick strikes. Looking for the third out here. Tosses that one in. Hits it high into the sky. Over the head. No! In and out of the glove of the centre fielder out there, Sarah Maricic. And it will allow Indiana Brown to move up to third base. Olivia Clark's aboard with a hit. Maybe score an error. Wait for the scorers to tell us what they consider it. We'll have Manly on the corners with 2 out here. And Kiara Gale up to bat. And Erin Fuller. 4 straight strikes so far. Starts Kiara DeGale. Sorry, it's Serena DeGale, not Kiara DeGale. We're at the top of the lineup. So it's Serena DeGale. Starts her with a strike. Pops it up, right side. Long run for the right fielder. Can't get to it, gets over her head. Olivia Clark will move up to third. It's a single for Serena DeGale. Good pitching by Erin Fuller, getting contact. But the ball just falling out of the reach of her outfielders. They only extend their lead now to 10-1. Apologies to the Fillies. I had them put your run on the other scoreboard. First pitch to Millie Atkinson. Is in there for ball 1. Swings and misses at that pitch. just getting inside. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Still 2 out here in the bottom of the third. Might be lucky to get into the 5th. I think we definitely see a 4th. Millie Atkinson, 1 ball and 1 strike. If you are around next week, make sure you get to the ballpark on either Wednesday or Saturday, the final round of the New South Wales State League. Manly women's side will travel to Bonnet Bay next Friday night to take on Cronulla. Looking to consolidate their place inside the top 4. Last year's grand finalists. Just falling short against MacArthur in the grand final. Fuller drops that one in for strike 2, swing and a miss by Millie Atkinson. And next Wednesday night, it'll be keep a foul ball night. So normally, you've got to give the foul ball back in the State League games, courtesy of Coastal Concepts Carpentry. Can't get the name out. They have donated 6 dozen baseballs. So if the ball is fouled off into the crowd, it's yours to keep. There'll be some specially marked balls that'll have a prize attached to them. You might win yourself something special. And then, of course, you can get them signed after the game by your Manly Eagles players. So that's next Wednesday night here at Aquatic. First pitch is at 7:15. We're taking on the Red Hawks in round 18 of the New South Wales State League. Millie Atkinson swings and misses that one. Dropped by Sophia Luca, but a good throw over to first by the catcher. Gets the third out. Millie Atkinson's retired. The Manly third inning is over. They do get a run. It's on the Procar Automotive scoreboard. It's Manly Eagles 10. Kellyville Fillies 1. So Indiana Brown back out for her 4th inning of work. I wouldn't think she's got too much left. Pitch up for ball 1. She's certainly showing signs of fatigue in the last inning with a couple of walks. It was a beautiful double play turned by the corner infielders and the catcher to end that inning. 2 balls here to Sarah Maricic. That pitch misses inside for ball 3, so 3-0. Ball 4 for Sarah Maricic. This is going to lead things off with a walk. Michael O'Neill have both of the Gale sisters and Olivia Clark to turn 2. Looks like it was hit by a pitch, sorry. Wasn't watching for a second. Oh, there we go, hit by a pitch in the side. Which would have been ball 4 anyway. Chich takes off, takes second base. Danielle Knoll now the batter. 2 balls and no strikes to her. Pops it up. Atkinson turns around for it. Can't pick it up, but it falls out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike. Correction, it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that is strike 3 on the outside corner for the first out here in the top of the 4th. Yvette Sow was the batter. That's Erin Fuller who led things off. My apologies there. Now it's Sarah Maricic in the batter's box. So Erin Fuller stands at second after the hit by pitch to lead things off, and then stealing second base. That's from Wong. No, sorry, that Sow was down on strikes. Pitch hit to Hannah Vaughan at third base. Gets across to a big strong throw across the diamond. Just behind Sarah Maricic, touching first base. Good play by Hannah Vaughan over there. Got across to it nice and quickly. Made a good strong throw to Serena the Gale at first. But just wasn't strong enough to get there before Sarah Maricic and Kellyville now have runners on first and third, with 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. All right, let's get back on track. It's Danielle now, the hitter now for the Kellyville Fillies. Chance to drive in her side's second run. Pitch down in the dirt, well blocked by Millie Atkinson. Knocks it down, keeps it in front. So it's allow Maricic to move up to second. 1 ball and no strikes to Danielle Knoll. Pitches in there for strike 1. A ball to strike now. Knoll retired on that double play to end the first inning. Starts to swing at that one, but lays off. 2 balls and a strike now. Nicely turned by Lenny Ward. Took the catch. And then Daniel Knoll just wasn't paying attention. Was halfway to third base. Lenny Ward took the catch, stood on third. And that was inning over. In the bottom of the second, or top of the second inning. Big lead by Aaron Fuller at third base. Pitch missing for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Can't get the swing from Daniel Knoll for strike 3, so it's ball 3 down and in the dirt. So full count here for Daniel Knoll. Runner on first in Maricic, runner on third in Aaron Fuller. 10-1 ball game in favour of your Manly Eagles. Backs out of the way of that one, almost backs into it. And it will be ball 4 for Daniel Knoll. So Maricic will move up to second. Daniel Knoll will take first base. Kellyville now with the bases loaded. And we'll bring a visit from Mike O'Neill. So we'll take a quick break and we'll be back with the rest of this top of the 4th.
Are you a fan?
So Michael O'Neill passed on his words of wisdom to his charger, Indiana Brown. So well to be here in the 4th inning. She does have the bases loaded. And it's Fiona Hinton-Rogers up to bat for the Fillies. Fouls that pitch off just out of the way of Serena Gale and Eva Indicaputri. No balls and 1 strike. So 0-1 to Hinton-Rogers. Going to miss down and away for ball 2. Ball 1. 1-1. .286 for Fiona Hinton-Rogers. 4 for 14 with 3 runs scored. 1 RBI. 3 walks, a hit by pitch and 4 strikeouts. Too high for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike now. And we're just looking for a ground ball here. Turn their 3rd double play of the night. (2-1) to Rogers in the dirt for ball 3. Not far enough away for Aaron Fuller to advance from third base. Gone. A nice catch there by Millie Atkinson on the infield fly. So Hinton Rogers was out regardless had Millie Atkinson had not made that catch. Second out here in the fourth, top of the fourth. Indiana Brown 1 out away from getting out of this jam. It's going to bring up Sophia Luca for the Phillies. That's in there for strike one, bottom of the zone. Steve Green been very consistent down there all season long. Not just tonight, but all season long. You've known where the zone's going to be. Hasn't given up anything high. And unfortunately, it was the strike three called on Lenny Ward last Friday night. With the winning run standing on second base down low in the zone. Lenny Ward just couldn't turn on it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Steve Green, one of the most experienced umpires in the Manly Warringah district. Back to off the foot of Serena DeGale. Takes the deflection. It'll be a tough play for. And now run down with Sarah Maricic. Runs too far around the corner. Millie Atkinson makes the tag. My apologies for not getting the camera over there. So again, more good defense by the Eagles, though. That ball just deflecting off the foot of Olivia Clark. Almost got the out at first base of Sophia Luca. The run comes in to score, so it's 10-2 now to the Manly Eagles. But Sarah Maricic just doing a little bit too much. And was hung up to dry halfway down the third baseline. So on the Procar automated scoreboard, Manly Eagles 10 and the Kellyville Fillies 2. So with the score the way it is and time running out, we don't have a new inning in 7 minutes' time. Kellyville don't think they can get 3 outs in that 7 minutes, so they've said let's finish things up. So after 3 1/3 here at Aquatic Ballpark, that's all she wrote. Great work by the Manly Eagles. They close out their home season with their 3rd win of the year at Aquatic Ballpark, their 50th win on the season. And they have one final leg out to Bonnet Bay next Friday night. One more trip out to Bonnet Bay next Friday night. They'll take on the Cronulla Sharks, look to finish their season on a high and close out what was a very positive season for the Manly Eagles. But tonight they finished victors 10-2 over the Kellyville Fillies. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you either tomorrow for our Manly Minor League first game triple header or next Wednesday and Saturday. If you can't get to the ballpark, make sure you tune in on the Eagles Baseball Sports Network. But for tonight, I'm Luke Eisenhower. Manly Eagles 10-2 on the Procar Automatic Scoreboard. Good night.